And I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over.
When you coming behind his jab, he throwing straight punches, he going to the body, going in up and down. He just got to tighten up a little bit on his defense, but other than that, man, he good.
In a sport fueled by endless debate, the pound-for-pound throne is always contested. But while fans and analysts keep arguing, one of boxing's most feared men just dropped a definitive statement of his own. David the Mexican Monster Benavidez has finally broken his silence on Terence Bud Crawford, and surprisingly, it's not a call-out. When Crawford dismantled Canelo Alvarez, he didn't just win another fight, he shattered the myth of the king at 168 pounds. The man who once looked untouchable was completely outclassed by a smaller fighter moving up to weight classes.
Is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
And as an undefeated, multi-division champion himself, Benavidez knows exactly what that kind of dominance takes. But what Benavidez said about Crawford wasn't just praise, it was a crowning moment. In a sport built on ego and trash talk, the Mexican Monster, a man who truly believes he's the best alive, did something unheard of. He didn't just applaud Crawford, he placed him among the immortals. Benavidez called him one of the all-time greats, a fighter who carved out a place in history that very few even get to touch.
Terence Crawford, because, you know, he beat, he did something that I didn't think he was going to do. You know what I mean? He beat Canelo. You know, that's 3 weight classes going up. You know what I mean? And he made it look pretty easy. So you have to give it to Crawford.
Coming from a man who could one day share the ring with him, that kind of respect speaks volumes. It silenced the entire boxing world. Benavidez saw what Crawford did, moving up in weight and taking every belt, and he saluted it. But what he revealed next explained why Crawford is nearly unstoppable. When asked what impressed him most, Benavidez didn't point to Crawford's lightning speed, slick footwork, or his ability to switch stances mid-fight. Instead, he pointed to something you can't teach: heart. Benavidez said what amazed him most was watching Crawford, already ahead on the scorecards, decide to stand and trade with a naturally bigger puncher like Canelo in the final rounds.
What impressed me the most was Crawford's ability to stay focused in the fight, and not only just to stay focused and box, but he also got rugged in there. You know what I mean? He started balling with him towards the late rounds. You know what I mean? That's something I appreciate in a fighter. You know what I mean? He was already up. He could have chose to just box, but he went in there and tried to brawl with him in the last round. So that's really what impressed me. His heart more than anything impressed me.
Crawford didn't just want to win, he wanted to dominate. That's the kind of killer instinct you can't fake. And to Benavidez, that's the secret weapon.
It's a good fight. You know, it's a good fight for both of them. Good fight for, I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, you know, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said, like, he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think you give him like a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say like 25.
Well, I mean, no, Crawford is good. Crawford is good, and
of course.
I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long time. And you know, Crawford, he likes to pick up the weight. So I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long time. So, you know, Crawford, when he has with a person that has big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, you know, and you stay working for a long time, you know, you have a punch of shot.
That mentality, that refusal to coast, that hunger to finish, is the reason Crawford might never lose. He's got elite skill, but he backs it with an unmatched mindset. And that, Benavidez believes, is exactly what Canelo Alvarez has lost. The respect he gave Crawford came with the blade hidden behind it, because right after praising Bud,
and I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather. Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And not even, and honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, but I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather is the greatest of all time. But I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. I mean, that's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now. Heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now, no, but that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that, and not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
Benavidez turned his attention to Canelo and tore him apart. He exposed what he believes was Canelo's downfall, not a lack of ability, not lost power, but an ego that got out of control. This wasn't just a defeat, Benavidez said, it was a lesson. He accused Canelo of disrespecting both his opponent and the sport itself. According to Benavidez, Canelo didn't prepare with full focus. He said the champion threw maybe 10 punches around, strolling forward, believing his own legend. Benavidez claimed Canelo's arrogance convinced him he could simply walk through Crawford, land one big shot, and end it. But that mindset? It's poison in this game. As Benavidez warned, that kind of ego will bite you in the eye. In his eyes, Canelo's confidence, the same thing that made him a global superstar, became the weapon that destroyed him. And with Canelo dethroned,
I'm not happy that he lost. I kind of feel like that could have been me. That was my moment. You know what I mean? If I would have gone in there, I know I would have beat him. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be a hater, but that's kind of how I feel. But you know what I mean? I give all the flowers to Crawford. You know what I mean?
That should have been me in there. That should have been my.
If I would have got that fight, I would have been me. I would have been the one getting my hand raised. But like I said, it didn't happen, and that's why it didn't happen, because Canelo knows that would have happened.
The boxing world instantly turned its gaze to the next logical super fight, the man with the killer instinct. Terence Crawford versus the sport's most avoided monster, David Benavidez. It felt like destiny, the new king against the uncrowned king. A battle for the soul of the 168-pound division.
I think Crawford took it way more serious than Canelo, which is kind of weird because, you know, the amount of money that Canelo was making. And I know all these people say, oh, yeah, you know, talking shit about Canelo. I'm not talking shit about him. He just didn't look like he really prepared 100%. He's throwing 10 punches around. Or I think it was his ego is that big that he thought that, oh, I'm just going to walk through him, catch him with a good shot, and it's going to be done. As you can see, Crawford is a different type of fighter. Not only does he have the boxing IQ, he has that dog in him. He was in there. He was brawling with Canelo like in the 8th, 9th, getting the best out of him. Boxing, he's epitome of a great boxer. There's a lot of lessons to be learned in that fight. You know what I mean? If you really want to make something come true and you really believe it, you can make it come true. And then the other lesson is, don't let your ego get the best out of you. And don't think that you don't have to prepare because you're a bigger fighter. You know what I mean? That shit will bite you.
The hype was immediate. Everyone wanted it. But when Benavidez was finally asked about facing Crawford, his response shocked everyone. He didn't just decline, he dismissed the idea entirely. He revealed he has no interest in fighting Terence Crawford. His explanation was as surprising as the answer itself. Benavidez publicly declared, "I'm done with 168. He's finished with the super middleweight division. Not even a massive payday against Canelo could bring him back down." So a fight with Crawford is completely off the table. And that's where things stand. The Mexican monster moves on to new challenges, while Terence Crawford stands alone atop the mountain, crowned not just by his fans, but by one of the most dangerous men in the sport. So that's it for today's breakdown. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss our latest uploads. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you in the next one.